I don't know yet. We finished playing and got up this morning and did some video of the players we haven't collected. But what we'll do is we've got a structure for our day to day, and we talk about this all the time. So this isn't the first time they've heard it. Handle your day. So we have a structure for that, and then tomorrow, through the morning skate and just at the team meal and things, kind of move around the players and just try to feel where they're at. And then I won't do it today. Then I'll take stock of where I'm at mentally, where my thoughts wander to in this situation. Do I need to kind of rein myself in, focus? Because if I'm going through that, there's a chance somebody in the room's going. So I base a lot of what I'll do and what I'll say and how we act tomorrow by that.
Right side front row, Josh.
Paul, Edmonton felt pretty good about themselves after game one. How has your group been able to just grab a chokehold on this series?
You guys love that word up here. I don't feel that way. I thought game one had three pieces to it. The first was nerves. I liked the structure, but they were in alone 4 times, so we'll temper that. But I thought that was us being jittery, and maybe even both teams, but the puck was bouncing. The second period, they were all over us, and I thought that was a function of the score. And the third period, we were good, and I felt that way in the next two, but it would be like the Rangers series for us in some ways. After the third game, we could have been up 3 or down 3. And there's just too many good players with good opportunities to score that you can say one team has a hold on this. I know it sounds like I'm laying that one off, right? You're up 3. But from the bench, it's tight out there. It's fast. It's tight.
Right side front row, Tracy.
Good morning, Paul. Wanted to ask you about Vladimir Tarasenko. It looked like he fit in pretty well as soon as you guys acquired him.
Yeah.
Just what impact has he made on and off the ice in his time here?
He's another veteran guy, and he has experience. He's won a cup, but he has an appreciation. These guys, as they get a little older, have an appreciation for the game. And you had Kyle Okposo up here. You can hear it. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. You can feel it from them right there. And Vlad came in like that. So he comes in and he plays with Barkov. I think he scored 2 goals in his second game, and it was a good fit. He was where Evan Rodriguez is playing now. And then we got injured, and so we had to start moving him over left and right. He's a right winger for me, but he can clearly play the left side. But the biggest impact is you'd be on the bench with Barkov, and they never stopped talking hockey. Like straight through the entire game, they were talking about the plays. And then the nice part for me with that is he's doing it with Anton Lundell. And Anton's got a whole lot of playoff experience now, but he's still a young player, keeping him engaged, talking about the specifics of what happens on the ice. So there's a leadership component to communication on the bench. He's been very impactful in that way.
Left side second row, Greg.
Hey, Paul. For a lot of your career, the Florida Panthers were not a very good hockey team. And now they are a prestige franchise, thanks to you and the players last couple of years. And I was looking maybe for your perspective on just the journey of this franchise and what a cup would do to validate that turnaround.
So when you say that, the first thing I think about is the video that we used to get. So this is not a function of Florida. It's Florida/Hartford, Florida/Carolina. We were complicit in nobody being at the games. And you would get the Jumbotron feed. Nobody covered the games weren't broadcast. So what you would get is the mascot. You never got a face-off. Close up, you'd be looking in the crowds if somebody was pretty you'd get 6 minutes of hockey the whole game. And I'd almost put Tampa in that same situation. But they play hard. Like, we had hard games against them. Now, when you are in the bottom third, where we were and probably Florida was, the games against teams like you are way harder. I mean, at that point in time, you could lose to the Detroit Red Wings. Nobody said much to you. But the bottom 10 were fighting like dogs to beat each other, because that one you had lived with, right? How the hell could you? It's fine. And that was kind of the life. But, over the cycle in the NHL, that is true of the great franchise, too. And again, this may have to do with us being in Hartford, but we go into Chicago one night, there's 5,200 people in that building. So Detroit, for a while, had to give away a car a game to get people to come to the game. Some of these phenomenal franchises, they have to be built, and then I guess they have to be maintained. And we're hopeful that we're building it now. So Addie said, keep your answers short. You got a meeting at 11. Well done.
Yeah, we're running out of time here. Only time for a couple more. Right side, Steven, front row.
I can hear you.
You guys were in this spot last year of facing elimination where the Oilers are. What is it about this core and what experience from last year maybe can your guys lean on of being in the opposite spot now in terms of whether it's killer instinct or whatever you want to call it, to be in this situation and know how to handle it?
Yeah, it's not killer instinct, because if it's an instinct, you keep it, and one team would win every game forever. So, well, you would draw on the things that you do know. Both teams this year have played in 3 elimination games already, or more, and found a way to be successful at some point. And then I think if you're asking me if I had to walk into the room right now and start this speech, I would acknowledge it. The fact that this is an elimination game in the Stanley Cup Final, and not a lot of us have been through it, and just talk about it openly right away. But we'll go back to what we know, and at the end of the day, that's why you handle your day. There's nothing new to what we're going to do. The puck's going to drop. It's going to be the exact same sport, so there's nothing new here. The context is different.
Last one, left side, front row. Sean.
Paul, if this is a better question than I usually ask, it's because I'm asking for Cam here.
Okay,
so,
perfect.
You get as close as you do last year. Is part of your process in getting this team back to this point, did you have them visualize being champions?
No, so we would never, and the way I'm going to answer this is I've seen that idea, right? Like one team had a clock in their room, basically the number of hours till the Stanley Cup Final starts, and they had it at training camp. And then there's all these ideas of the goal, keeping your eye on the prize, all that kind of stuff. But that would be the exact opposite of me saying handle your day, right? Or I guess you could kind of split it and say, if you handle your day, that's where you're going. But we specifically stayed out of the future, that idea. I worked very hard at just handling our day. So that's not me trying to lay this off in front of the media to get out of answering these questions. I'm telling you the truth and exactly how we've dealt with it to this point.